Welcome, friends. Thank you for joining us. My name is Joel, and this is the O2 Drop. This is WA's VGC podcast coming from Perth, home of Australia's Regional Championship. Very disappointing loss, but we'll take it. Today I'm joined by Chris.
Yes, hello.
Sliff.
Hello.
And I've just been handed a card for the intro of our guest today. His current accolades are 2020 Perth Regionals Top 16, 2023 Perth Regionals Top 8, 2023 Brisbane Regionals Top 8, 2024 Melbourne Regionals Champion, 2024 EUIC Top 128, and 2024 Perth Regionals Top 16. Close personal friend and teammate of the O2 Drop panelist and WA's most underrated VGC competitor, Chris Marr, Kiran Singh.
Hello.
Good to have you here.
Thank you for joining us, Kiran.
Thank you for having me.
So today we're going to talk about the upcoming Regulation G format. When this episode releases, we'll be 2 days into Regulation G. But we are going to have a bit of story from Kiran to begin with. So standard question that everyone else here has done previously. How did you get into Pokemon, Kiran?
So I played my first Pokemon game when I was in year 6, which is probably going to make you feel old when I say what the game is, but it was Omega Ruby. My friend got me into it, and he told me about like the competitive circuit, and I went to my first regionals in 2016 at Perth when I was in the seniors division, and I took a long break, got back into it early 2020, and then went to Perth regionals, and then took another long break.
Yeah.
And got back into it a week before Perth regionals of 2022, and then since then been playing completely.
Nice. Favorite game?
Omega Ruby.
Favorite Pokemon?
Roaring Moon.
Cutest Perth player?
Oh, that's a tough one. Daniel Baguli.
Daniel Baguli. Holy dooly. He's psyched in the corner there. Awesome. Now, before we go into your 2024 season, which has been amazing to watch, I believe everyone in Perth is aware of it and loves the shit out of it. I want to cut to 2023. I'll set the scene and you can describe how that changed your approach or made your approach for 2024 a bit different. In 2023, you went into, it was our first and only PC for 2023, 15 points short of an invite. 30 points, sorry. So a win at the PC would have secured you the invite.
Yes.
You did the hard yards, went 5-0 in Swiss, and then there were no foreign players, there were no Eastern State players. It was team kill. How did that feel to go out in top 8 in 2023 of the last points event that we had? And how did that change your 2024 approach?
Yeah, like I only went to one regional in the 2023 season, so I wasn't planning on like going for my invite completely. But then when the locals, like the possibility of locals came back and like some global challenges got announced, I decided to try and go for it, especially since it was in Japan, which is somewhere I wanted to go.
Beautiful country.
Yeah.
For anyone who hasn't been there, definitely recommend.
Not 2.5K for flights as well.
Yeah. Post-COVID, it's a bit rough.
But so yeah, on losing in the tournament, yeah, it felt like a bit rough for like a day. Like I got over it pretty quick. It was pretty like optimistic to try and to achieve worlds with, you know, the very little tournaments that
It would have been a purely locally earned Worlds invite as
it
well.
would have, yes. Yeah, that's right. But in the way that it changed my approach for 2024, it definitely made me a bit hungry. I definitely wanted the Worlds invite and to like actually start competing properly and like get some accolades and whatnot. So it definitely did contribute to, you know, ramping up the play and really trying hard to improve and putting myself out there in the sense of actually, you know, going to tournaments.
I think Kieran's biggest 2023 accolade, and this ties into the intro that I gave you to read out. In the beginning of the year, we had a multi-battle event as like a meme event, and we all brought like 6 random Pokemon and just got paired up with someone randomly on the day. I brought Oricorio dancer team, hoping that someone would have the same ingenious idea. Got paired up with Kiran. He had no dancer Pokemon, and we ended up going undefeated the whole day, winning the multi-battle event, even though we got 2 game losses because of 2 different team sheet errors by Kiran. And he also was insistent on clicking ally switch in a multi-battle, despite me repeatedly telling him it would not work. He's like, I just want to see. So yeah, we are undefeated in multi-battles, and I have been milking that shit since.
Is that the close personal friend and teammate?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, we didn't have a name, so I just threw out team no skill issue, and we just went
other than team sheets.
Yeah, well, that was deliberate to throw the opponent off, and it worked. We won. We still won despite the game loss.
Amazing.
Yeah, I kept so I rocked up and then I saw everyone's team and I'm like, okay, my team's like super boring. So I need to spice it up a little bit. So I was like throwing in some like random mons, some random TMs, and I kept not saving my game. So then I'd load in versus my opponent and I'd just use them and they're like, you don't have this move on your team sheet. I was like, shit. But yeah, no, that was very good, very fun day.
We do love our meme formats in Perth.
We do.
Now, your 2023, obviously, you proved to yourself that you were pretty much there. You just needed to do a little bit extra, effectively. I remember back in 2022 when I first came back into Pokemon community and was doing VG, Alistair Sandover was someone who said to me, you've done 50 battles in a format. That's fuck all. Try 1,500. How many battles, what's your approach to training effectively? Because when you're competing at EUIC, at Melbourne Regionals, which is Australia's biggest regional, you know you're going to be running into top level competition. It is effectively a sport. You need to train, you need to prepare. What does your preparation look like for those big events?
My main preparation, like similar to Alistair, just grind the best of three ladder as much as I can. And then when, you know, you encounter specific matchups which seem problematic, then, you know, find some friends who can help you out and practice the matchup and understand how to play it most optimally. But yeah, I really believe in just getting just a high volume of games. Like I'm someone who uses the same team most of the format as long as I can, because I value the comfort and the knowledge that I'm playing a matchup, that I know how to play a matchup correctly, and I'm doing the things to win, whether that materializes or not.
I think I saw a tweet go out that you run some maths on it for 2024. 98% of your points was earned with the Shroom.
That's correct.
Chris?
You said you were grinding on best of 3 ladder. Are you one of those, now that you're a big deal, those high rank players that have secret like alt accounts that you test on best of 3 ladder so people don't see what you're going to bring?
Yeah, I do play on alt accounts now.
Nice. I mean, getting a regionals win is going to put you on the radar of internationals. So, who did you run into at EUIC that you don't think you would have run into otherwise?
Oh yeah, I met a lot of people that I had like either talked to online or just knew through, you know, watching them and stuff. So it was really good. As far as playing it was really fun to play Davide Carrera. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but
Neither do we.
no. He's Top Cut Worlds, finished second at EUIC. That was a good experience playing him. Kind of cooked me, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
He also did burn my Roaring Moon, so
West.
who else did I play? Oliver Escalin. That was a fun match. Pretty rough matchup, but it was really close and he played very well. So having the experience of playing these players that I wouldn't get to play in Australia. Not that like the top Australian players are like not good,
we're not saying that,
or even
Australian
just any
players
Australian
bad,
players, but yeah, going from only have ever competed in Australia events, it was good to verse these good international players.
Did you encounter a different meta game playing against players in Europe? Because Australia, from state to state, the meta tends to vary in Australia, but for the most part, the Australian meta is very different to EU or NA. Did you play against unfamiliar archetypes while you were over there?
I would say that as far as the Australian meta goes, it is fairly unpredictable. Like the team that is getting consistent high placements, like the balanced archetype that a lot of the top players are using around the world, only a few people will run that in Australia. Not that the teams that Australians run are bad by any means, but it's just kind of a play style thing. As far as Europe, honestly, it felt no different than playing in Australia. What I just said before is the opinion that I held about Australian tournaments is only a certain percentage of the players look to use the best team in the format, relative to maybe the US. But I versed some jank. I versed a sturdy power herb Archaliodon.
Nice.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the end of your EUIC run. So imagine going all the way over to Europe, getting to the last round, winning in to get top cut, and you have to play a fellow Australian, Megan Rattle. And that was how you got knocked out of top cut in EUIC, wasn't it?
We did accidentally manifest that in chat as well.
Yeah, it's Daniel Baguli's fault.
Yeah. I think I'm going to use this opportunity actually to give a shout out to a fellow Australian player from Wollongong, Daniel Walker, who managed to infuriate Megan Rattle at the Perth Regionals. I saw them in round 2. He burnt her with Sandseer Storm Lando, and she was not happy. Slammed the table, snatched the switch out of the dock and stormed off and got warned by the judges. But I want to give a shout out to Daniel for getting that revenge on Megan for us WA players.
For affecting Kiran in his UIC run.
Yeah.
If he burned her with Sandseer Storm, does that mean he was running Sand Force Landers?
Lando T.
Oh, it was Lando T.
Special
So bad. It's so bad.
special attacker Lando
The Diego
T.
special from New South Wales, eh?
Look, I can understand the rage
the
getting
man
hit by a
is-
special move on a physical Lando.
I can't wait to see what he brings to Worlds, because he has got some spicy ideas. He sent me a few Pokepace, and I'm like, it's just next level devious, and he does well despite these subpar seeming strategies. So what else do we want to talk about?
Well, I just want to say, before we move on from Kiran, we did mention it in episode 3, incredible effort to go across to the biggest Pokemon tournament held to date, go 6-3, and your only losses were to previous Worlds competitors, such as Davide, Escalin, and then one of Australia's highest performing players in Megan Rattle. Super unfortunate to have an Aussie team kill in round 9. But yeah, incredible effort. As we said, none of us would have gone 6-3 in that tournament. So yeah, incredible effort and points payout as well. So
There was someone else who had an absolutely outstanding effort at EOIC. And they get a Chris honorable mention. Jamie Boyd. This needs to be discussed. He has a 33 episode YouTube series on tournament prep for EUIC that he's currently publishing. The hilarious part is that he attended the Worlds largest ever Pokemon tournament, 974 Masters players.
There was 975.
75?
Technically, it was 974 because one got a DQ.
Okay. Well, out of the people that weren't DQ'd, Jamie Boyd, all this tournament, 33 episodes of the tournament prep, he went 0-4 drop. So, I mean, if you listen to his tournament report, he had like some of the worst hacks I've ever heard. Like, we're talking like 1 in 10,000 chance of losing situations, and it was against him. The odds were against him.
Multiple times.
Yeah. But he went 0-4 drop and finished 974th. Dead last, literally lost EUIC. And he's the first person in history to finish 974th in a tournament. So I would like to give him just a Chris honorable mention.
Love it.
Oh, one person we haven't mentioned yet as well, James Beck, big fan of the show, huge fan, listens to every
I don't think we
episode.
actually mentioned him in episode 5.
Well, we're going to mention him now, and I'm going to just say I watched his latest couple of videos on YouTube. Still hasn't changed his glasses. So
Still hasn't said, given Ethan credit for his 2022
Exactly.
regionals team.
So on behalf of Ethan and the rest of the O2 Drop podcast, I'm going to just say, fuck James Beck.
Thank you, Chris. How could we forget? Now, as we said at the top, Reg G is coming, and when this episode releases, we are going to be 2 days into Reg G. Obviously, there's already been a Reg G tournament run online on Limitless VGC, which I'll touch on, but I think what would be interesting for this group and for our listeners is just our hot takes, our immediate brain cooked or cooking on the restricteds that are available in Reg G.
Yeah.
So I've got a list of the restricteds here. So we'll, just take your immediate thoughts on these mons. We'll go around that way
So is it
for the people at home.
all right? Yeah. So we're saying cooked or cooking, or
Cooked or cooking, and cooked could be this Pokemon is so broken that we don't want to talk about it anymore.
One
Or-
word answers.
You can elaborate if you want, but let's
Okay.
power through these.
All right.
Necrozma.
Cooked.
base Necrozma? Sorry.
Base Necrozma.
Oh, cooking.
Oh, terrible.
No comment.
No comment.
Cooked. Sorry, cook's the negative one, right?
Yes.
Okay, cooked.
Dialga.
Cooking.
Trash.
Which form?
Just base.
Cooked.
Zamazenta. Base.
Cooked.
This is one of those examples of it's like preserve the queen strats where you run like screens and Amoonguss and Incineroar, and it just like sets up and you got to keep the queen alive. I'm gonna go cooking.
Terra Ghost.
I love it. Zacian base.
Scarf.
Cooked.
Cooking.
Cooking. Kyurem base.
Needs Reshiram.
Needs more power.
More power.
Cooked.
Cooked. Calyrex base.
Based. Calyrex based.
Cooked.
Why are we even bringing that one up?
Because it's
We're
available.
going to hear about Cosmo M.
No, we're going to skip over those.
But you're including Calyrex.
Yeah, man. I mean, someone might not have
The
unlocked.
grass psychic type.
Someone might not have unlocked the horses yet.
True.
Giratina Origin.
Cooked.
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 Giratina Altered.
Burned.
Cooked.
Overcooked.
It's a sad one. I know the answer is Mewtwo.
I didn't think that was a real Pokemon.
My point, like I think, and I don't like being the negative Nancy because I love being people being creative. But if you're going to bring something like that, you got to have to justify why you're bringing Mewtwo and not Calyrex Shadow Rider
Yes.
or
Sebi in shambles.
Lunala.
Sebi in shambles. Sorry, Sebi. So Ho-Oh.
Sorry,
Cooking.
Sai, you are cooked.
It depends. I'd like to say that it depends because I think there's a lot of I know this sounds dumb saying Zacian balance, but like it is a legit, like it's a very good typing and it just fits into balance teams so well. But one thing that doesn't mind having Zacian up against it as a Ho-Oh, I think it's got potential.
I'll take-
Better than it's given credit for.
Oh, okay. I like it. Lugia.
Cooking.
What are they doing with this Lugia? Are they doing some weakness policy bullshit? Because that is
Common.
cooking.
That's what I've seen.
You know what? Actually, you know what? I'm just going to say it's cooking. I don't think it's salvageable.
Kaya and Black.
It's not white.
Unfortunately, it's intimidate bait.
Drop from the tournament.
Palkia base.
If it had a water attack that wasn't Hydro Pump, I would say it's good, but it's cooking if you are going to run that over like Koga.
I'd say cooked, but it's 4 times resistant to fire.
Cooked.
Dialga Origin.
Slightly more cooking than Dialga base.
I don't even know what that thing does, man. I don't know the difference.
I think it's a bit zoomier. I think it's less bulky, right?
No, it's
Less attack
got
and
like
special defense or something?
This is Dialga?
Dialga Origin, yeah.
Plus 20 special defense, minus 20 from attack.
Does it have an item?
It needs to hold the new version of the Lustrous Orb or Grisius Orb, whatever it's
Adamant
called.
Or
Adamant Orb?
1.2x.
Yeah,
dragons.
which is what like Palkia
It's
commonly
better.
ran
It's
in the
better than
last format.
Dialga and Palkia. Yeah.
C tier
C tier.
for cooked.
Palkia Origin.
Cooked.
120 speed. I think that thing's actually not too bad.
Yeah, I think Palkia
120
is
doesn't
zoomier.
outspeed enough anymore, man. Like Calyrex, Zacian.
It is wild to say that
It is-
120 speed is mid.
It is
It's
iron,
mid. It actually is mid.
It is iron bundle bait.
But yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's true.
Zekrom base.
Cooked.
What's that?
Oh, it's not.
Physical
It's not
electric.
combined with
If
Kyurem.
If you're running,
Oh, it's the Black Dragon.
if you're running
Yeah,
Zekrom,
cooked.
why are you not running Miraidon?
Mariah.
Gotta justify
Yeah,
that.
That one sucks.
That one sucks. Reshiram.
Because like Miraidon gets like the terrain boost and it's a electro drift boost and like it's just crazy. Yeah.
Reshiram.
I think we did Reshiram. Am I?
No, we didn't.
Okay, I'm tripping.
Kieran cooked.
Cooking. Reshiram has been historically okay.
Yep, I agree
it's
with that.
alright.
Needs Dynamax.
It kind of does.
Yeah, no. It's a no from me.
I guess it's not Koraidon.
The Noodle, Rayquaza.
B tier. Because it's like the problem is it wants inner focus like Dragonite has, but it does get Swords Dance and like it's Dragon Ascent is so much better than like Dragonite. Dragonite's got Aerial Ace or like Terra Blast flying, right? Like this has got Dragon Ascent. Next to Chen Pao, I think it's pretty good. Maybe B plus.
Cooking.
Cooked. You're committing your restricted slot to something that Dragonite can do. Why would you do that?
It's
Cooked.
It's
95 base speed, and Dragonite completes its role more
Yeah.
effectively.
Kyurem White.
I fucking wish this was good. I just take that Utrecht Articuno team, substitute Kieran White, and give it a red hot go. And let me get back to me and let me know how it goes.
But then you remove the 20% win condition of
Yeah,
Snowflake.
right.
the win condition is blizzard free. Let's be honest.
Personal
Yeah.
favorite, but it's realistically not good.
If you get Veil up, if you do get Veil up, and you get also it patches its and the snow patches its weakest defense stat, it's actually pretty tanky. But
It still dies to Behemoth Blade from Nerfed Station. Cooked.
I mean, if people would just I hate Zacian, ruins everything. No fun. For
I do wish Kieran White was good. I brought it to my first regional, so bit of sentimental value there, but
I think it's a stylish
it's not
choice.
good.
It is a stylish choice. I do love the look of the Mon. but
170 base special attack blizzard spam that doesn't miss like that in snow.
Except for when it does, because in restricted formats, it's Weather Wars.
It is that hurts it.
Enamorous.
Why that's not an
That is not a
Are
restricted.
you
Hang on,
genuine-
Terrapega?
Oh,
The other turtle?
No.
To wrap, Enamorous is
Sorry,
not restricted.
I can't even. Eternatus.
Oh,
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I want to say cooking, but that would make me cooked.
I think our favorite cooking member of the WAVGC, Sai, has been mentioned in Enamorous a little bit.
Okay, cooked.
It does
Oh,
it does get Power Herb Meteor Beam. Yeah, after this I'm going to go
So does
through a
half
couple of
format
like
now.
combo
Absolutely.
strategies and then we can review Eternatus then.
Okay.
Thanks, host.
You're welcome. Co-host.
Solgaleo.
Cooking, great Pokemon, full metal body, doesn't need to waste an item slot on.
Cooked. It's not.
Eh.
You were talking about this whole protect the queen strategy of Zamazenta. That's exactly what we saw Solgaleo during Series 12. It was just Dynamax Solgaleo weakness policy, and then all you did was kill all of its friends. It's got classic steel type syndrome in a
Chipper.
unrestricted format. Putting that on your
Look,
team,
it's very like I admit when you see how bad Metagross did in Reg F, like how can I justify sitting here saying that Solgaleo is going to be good? But I think it's better than some of the other shit we've talked about.
What restricted does it beat?
Kieran White.
Xerneas?
The one that's not in the game.
Yes, that one.
Necrozma Dawn.
Shit.
No, underrated.
Wait, is Dawn the Lunala one?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Lunala, no sugar.
It's got Lunala's kit, obviously.
With Prism Armor. So its quad weaknesses
It
are
has a
tri
very,
weaknesses.
very big expanding force. I think it's good.
Why is it better than Lunala?
I didn't say that. But it is slower.
Yeah, it is slower and it has more special.
Does it get
attack, I
wide
think.
guard? Because Lunala.
I think it's got like 20 or 30 more special attack.
I think
it's got
this-
a really big expanding force.
I could be in my own head, but I think the sets I've seen on it are the Moongeist, Expanding Force, or Psychic.
Moongeist equals Meteor Beam
sure.
Protect.
Protect and Meteor Beam, or I can't remember if it gets wide guard, but
It does, but I don't think you typically run it. We had this discussion in the chat. We can cover it later.
Yeah.
Why wide guard on your restricted isn't the play.
yep. Necrozma Dawn.
Trash.
I thought we were just talking about.
It's just worse.
Necrozma
Solgaleo.
Dusk
Right.
was Necrozma Dawn is the Solgaleo.
Okay, I think Lunala and Solgaleo are better than the other Necrozma forms.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, no. Dawn is the Lunala one. Dawn
Yeah.
Wings Dusk Main.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went backwards. Anyway, cooked.
Yeah, cooked.
Let me just drip clear body for no reason. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Miraidon.
I think it's overvalued in the format.
The hype was there, but
Overrated, yeah.
overrated, but still good.
It's not necessarily bad, but it doesn't do what we wanted it to do. And the future paradoxes, most of them are just outclassed. I want to say mid Rhydon.
Miraidon.
I second that.
I'll third it.
Core Rhydon.
So everyone thought, well, this is terrible. It's like it's slaughter main bait, and it's, why would you run this over Groudon? But I think it's doing better than everyone thought it.
Oh, yeah, it's good. I think it's
Yeah.
cooking.
I think
I've been having some fun with it on CTS ladder.
Koraidon has basically banished Groudon altogether. It Oko's Kyogre, even in rain. Koraidon's really good.
Groudon is good.
Maybe not banished.
Groudon's good. Groudon's good.
Its usage is way lower than I think a lot of people expected. Kyogre kind of just disappeared as well.
Yeah. Kyogre got power crept a little bit.
Yeah.
About time.
So Zamazenta crowned.
oh, okay. I was covering that when we talked about Zamazenta originally.
Wait. Crown. Wait, so
Is
which Zamazenta were we talking about before?
The one whole just the base form where you don't
No,
give it
you-
Rusty
you need
Shield.
it.
Yeah, I was assuming that was the
So Zamazenta Rusty Shield versus Zamazenta not Rusty Shield. Any benefit?
You want the rusty one because its defenses are 140.
I'd
there
say-
is absolutely zero reason to not run
Yeah.
Rusted Shield or Rusted Sword on your.
Yeah, so that covers off Zacian crowned as well. Then you definitely want that boy.
Yeah.
With its big sword in its mouth.
I mean, with all the fire type offense going around, you could probably justify not having the crown Zamazenta, but then you just shouldn't have Zamazenta at that point.
Yeah,
No.
absolutely. Lunala.
Extremely good, probably top tier mon in the format, but it competes directly with Calyrex, and that is difficult.
You do kind of need to. Well, Terra fixes Lunala's issues that's had in the past. It's better in a 2 restricted format. I think it's cooking. I really want to try because it's got Shadow Shield.
Yeah.
Like the multi-scale Shadow Shield. I really want to try a Shed Tail into Lunala Calm Mind setup. I think it's.
Okay.
I really wanted to make it work.
You're gonna run the
Cooked.
Donosi, but without Dragonite again.
We'll see. I'm thinking Smeargle Shed Tail. Just wait and see.
Cooked, Chris.
But no, apart from my terrible ideas, Lunala's good.
Yeah,
good.
I think Lunala's a good mon.
Kyogre.
Banished to the Shadow Realm, and I don't think anybody misses it. Still good, but finally it's been power crept. If you were using it ever in your life, you were cooked because I hate that mon.
Okay, before Kieran answers, I think Kyogre itself in isolation is probably being power crept. However, we've seen that Rain Rain did pretty well at Perth Regional.
I mean,
Started.
Rain, the weather is still valuable.
My point is, like, you can literally just whack a Kyoga on your team now, run double Genie like Lando Eye Tornadoes with all the Sanseas Storm and Bleakwind Storm, no missing.
It's like the common rain team
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
and
You can
I'll
even
tell
run
you can-
Lando T and burn your opponent.
If you're doing your Walker, you can run Lando T, special attacker. But you also run like Calydon, like Electro Shot. Like, my point is, the rest of the team is very, like Urshifu Scarf, like, Terrawad and Rain and whatever. The point is, like, the rest of the team is really, really good with Kyoga, but they can't ignore the Kyoga. So the fact that they have to deal with Tornadoes, Lando, Urshifu, Calydon, and probably fucking Amoonguss or Incineroar or something, or an Ogerpon form. But then if they can't like ignore those, and they also can't ignore Kyoga because it still has like Water Spout and Origin Pulse. My point is, I think it's bad by itself, but if you can put all that other shit on the same team as it, I think it's actually really good.
It's a good point Chris is cooking.
Yeah.
That boy, Groudon.
Hang on, Kieran's opinion on Kyogre.
Yeah.
I think Kyogre is not great at the moment, but I think it has potential to. It always finds a way to like be good. It's Kyogre,
Yeah.
But no, I don't think it's like very special at all. It's not like fast enough. Its special bulk is not as valuable as Groudon's physical bulk because you can't, Groudon can just chuck an Assault Vest on.
Yeah.
If you did run Kyoga, would you go max speed, a special attack, or would you go bulky and just a max investment?
I think
defenses?
I'd run like Calm Mind probably. I saw some people running that, and like that seems like the best option because I saw people running on like Incineroar teams, and then you kind of force the opponent like to not be able to play Incineroar, and then they're just gonna like lose their Spore immunities, and you can kind of sweep through.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Groudon.
Cooking, very good. Sun's really good. I don't know if you've noticed, but Pokemon like Fluttermane and Raging Bolt.
They love to be in the
Fluttermane got
sunshine.
banished, dude. Fluttermane's usage is non-existent in this format. It's unbelievable. That mon just disappeared.
Yeah, look, I still think Groudon, and also, okay, I was going to talk about the like combos later, but I'm just going to get to them now to save time. What do you think about something like Groudon plus Howl Gouging Fire?
I think it's good. Were you telling me about this
I don't know.
the other day? Someone was telling me about it.
I don't know
I think it was you. I think it was you.
Yeah, like
It's actually clever because you can chuck like a clear amulet on your gouging, starts howling away, Precipice Blade in a way.
yeah, I think there's Groudon is going to be A tier.
Yeah, I do quite like the combination. I've run into it a few times and I have not done well against it. So
I think cooked. Single restricted formats are extremely volatile. And when your best and most clicked move is an 85% accurate move, missing that once on one target can lose you the game so quickly. I think it's
think
rough.
Groudon can get away with it because it's just so bulky that you're just clicking the move like 10 times.
I guarantee you, I know how the Perth Mines think. I guarantee you, Reg G first event, there will be Prankster Gravity Sableye.
Gravity
Oh,
Groudon.
Pair with Groudon. And look, and there sure as hell probably will be a speed boosting Sandy Shock's gravity as well. There'll be all will be all sorts of gravity memes. But I don't know. I don't even think you need that. Like you can, it's the same with Koraidon. Like you can literally just like terrify fire flare blitz and like nothing lives that in the sun. It's ridiculous.
It is, yeah. The next one, a Pokemon that I so want to be good, and I have not been able to make it good yet. Not that I'm the candlestick. Terapagos.
Terapagos?
Very good.
Cooking, again, it's got the Terra Shell, which the first attack, if it's full HP, is not very effective. Just going to get a Shed Tail for the double Terra Shell.
I don't have an opinion on it. It's a very complex mon, and I haven't really played around with it much. I don't have an opinion.
It's a Protect the Queen Pokemon.
Yeah, it is like the best example of a Protect the Queen.
You literally have to,
The longer it's there, the better it is. You kind of want to get 2 Calm Minds off.
Yeah. So you've gone with cooked or cooking. My segment I was going to call it hate it, rate it, or defecate it, and because it's shit. Kieran,
I got why it was defecated.
yeah. Hate it, rate it, and like they're not mutually exclusive. So if you like hate it but also rate it, you have to elaborate it as well.
Oh,
For fuck's sake.
Chris likes to rhyme.
Comfy Terrapagos.
I saw that it won some Limitless Tour, but it was a Limitless Tour. So.
Is that to just constantly heal
Well,
it?
it's +3
You
priority,
get the, like,
+6 priority.
the
Anyway, my
triage
point is
comfy.
it goes before like fake out and
Yeah,
shit.
you just spam Floral Healing, and then it has the
Helping
ability, the
Hand.
multi-scale ability, right? That's
Yeah,
before
yeah.
it
Yeah.
tears?
Before
It's-
it
no, when it
Terrors,
enters the battle,
yeah.
it turns into the form that gets the shadow,
Right.
the Terra Shield.
Yeah,
or-
Terra
Terra
Shell.
Shell.
Yeah, so that has good synergy with Floral Healing.
Yeah. And also,
But, like, It kind of just, I don't know.
Yeah, you're kind of sitting there for
Comfy
a
also
few-
says it's Trick Room as well. You can't ignore the Comfy. It's a pain in the ass. And it's actually, if you invest full bulk, it doesn't need to invest in speed or anything. It just has
No.
priority.
The thing that I was trying to
means.
do with Terrapagos was trying to like dual speed control it, having Trick Room and Tailwind. I don't think that's the right way to build it. But
Comfy
it
does get both.
If you
Config gets Tailwind. Okay,
Okay,
the people
it
in the
does.
back are saying
It
yes.
does,
holy
it does,
shit.
it does. It does. It gets
It did in Generation
And Trick
7. I think it lost
It
it
does.
last generation, but I believe it got it back this gen.
it definitely
Yeah.
does.
That's
can confirm.
actually pretty good.
That's a lot of roll compression there. That's interesting.
If you get a couple of calm minds up while being like,
Ideally,
protect
it's
the queen.
two. Ideally, it's
Yeah.
two from what
It's-
I've experienced online.
and then they usually run it with, I'm trying to think what they usually run it with, whatever resists normal. Oh, like usually it's like Earth Luna or something because you've got like the ground stab or something like that.
The
Yeah.
issue is that it just like actually so hard loses to like Clear Amulet Koraidon.
Mm.
Yeah.
And for that matter, Urshifu.
Double target it with like a close combat and something else.
Yeah, like I think that's what the issue with it is. I don't think like many like, I don't know. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It'll
being
get results.
normal type is challenging.
Being stuck into normal type.
Yeah, and like we thought it would lose its weaknesses with Terra Stella being that it's meant to be the only Stellar Pokemon, but it didn't pan out that way.
Well, if
Yeah.
you do, if you do Terra into Stellar, that Terra Star Storm isn't resisted by anything. It becomes Stellar type. So technically, it doesn't. You can bypass that normal spread issue.
Not defensively though. You can
Not
bypass
defensively,
the
but offensively.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
once
really-
you
it's
get
really
to
good.
once you get to a +2 and you've terrored and you're doing Starstorm, it sweeps so hard.
I think it's just
so
a
you gotta
high skill
there.
cap, Mon. Like you just need to know how to like position really
As
well.
someone who's probably, I did like maybe 70 or 80 battles with it because I was like, I want this to be good and I want to run it. I'm not that good. So yeah, someone way better than me will take it to a top 8 for sure.
Oh yeah,
we'll see.
it'll get lots of results.
It's A tier. It's just some people even put it in S tier. I don't know how that accurate that is, but I mean it's still scary. I don't know how to beat it. So.
I think it will be like I think it'll top cut worlds like one team.
Yeah.
It's kind of our new Zygarde, I guess.
Love
Like
Zygarde.
Power
Miss
Construct
Zygarde.
Zygarde. What Terrapagos is now.
So we're on to our final two, the horses. Calyrex Ice Rider.
S tier.
Yeah, S tier easily.
I'm gonna say, well, again, it's one of those Pokemon. Like, it's a good Pokemon, but like I think, and what they're running it where it's like, Fragiraffe, Ursaluna, Ice Rider, Rock Ogerpon is the most.
A lot of Incinemungus with it.
Yeah, I think the team itself is just pretty.
It's basically just a Reg
it's-
F Trick Room team, but you
it's-
take off Torkoal and it becomes
It's
complete
an
S.
ice
Yeah.
Torkoal team.
I've seen some, I think it was VGC Repository put up its Reg G lists, and I think there's been some with Hisui and Lilligan as well,
Oh god.
just to do ball it, we fucking.
After you
After you Glacial Land.
Also, I'm going to go A tier. I think it's cooking A tier because I think any strategy where you're reliant on getting Trick Room up, like there are teams where you don't have to worry. The win con is not like reliant on specific move working. So I think it's always going to hold it back slightly. So I'm going to go A tier.
I disagree
A
that
plus.
it relies on Trick Room. Its bulk is just completely like nuts. Like
Yeah.
it can just spam some Glacial Lance. Like you can lead in like your opponents will respect Trick Room and you just click Glacial Lance and they're kind of just
Yeah.
screwed.
I think having a Mungus with it makes a lot of sense because it's got a lot of bulk. You're healing a lot of HP because most people are going to max it. Most, of course, we'll get deep into this regulation and we'll start seeing the thicker ones. But yeah, I'm a personal fan, but again, I'm not very good. Which leaves the last one, the one we all know is probably going to be S tier, Calyrex Shadow Rider.
Double S plus, best Pokemon ever created. It's not even fair. Callie's nuts.
All right, so rate it, hate it, defecate it.
All the above.
Yeah. What about, so it's obviously S tier, but like, what do you reckon with Calyrex Shadow Rider plus Mienshao?
Yeah, it's good. It gives you like massive advantage in the mirror. Like just run like double fake out, redirection. I don't know, any support mon. Like in Cinderella, Calyrex Ursh is so dumb. Like I've seen it.
Sounds
really
boring.
dominating. It's boring. Yeah, it's very boring.
It's almost another Protect the Queen mon, except in this case, the Queen will fucking kill you.
If you let it get up one plot and you don't have like
An answer. You're pretty cooked.
Yeah.
It's
So the reason, like I mentioned, Mienshao is because it's got inner focus, so they can't fake out it. It's got a fast fake out that beats Incineroar. It's got close combat that beats Incineroar. It's got wide guard, so it stops other Shadow Riders beating the Shadow Rider.
It gets
It's just-
faint.
It gets
So you can
faint,
stop
so they
opposing
can't
wide guard,
protect
yeah.
or wide guard against Shadow Rider.
It's good.
It's spicy. I like
It
it.
creates insane
But-
50-50s.
You kind of want to put the sash on Callie, in my opinion,
Mhm.
to be able to win the
Sucker
mirror.
punch and stuff.
And then your Mienshao has base 65 HP defense, special
So that's
defense.
the
So
kind of
like
two sashes.
that's kind of the issue that
it's like a team that wants two sashes.
if you could like, I mean, I've seen people run like Life Orb, Callie S. I think Sash is much better.
Yeah, when it's running that bloody 4x weakness,
Yeah,
It-
and it allows you to go Terra Ghost as well and just like
just destroy.
go crazy.
Yeah, and then they usually pair it with their own like Dark Urshifu, right? Because like that hits like that close combat and stuff. It hits the dark types that resist all of Callie's.
It's quite often running with like Pivot Core plus a Moongus.
Urshifu, Scarf
J-
Urshifu.
Yeah, just like really, really bulky, disruptive mons. They'll soften up targets or take one KO, and then the Callie's going to come in and just click, in the words of Matthew Anderson, Ashral Barrage. You did miss one, by the way, Joel. You didn't do Zacian Crowned.
We did. We just
No, we did.
We
It's
just
just-
glazed over it because everyone thought that I meant that straight away.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so those are the mons. Obviously, Calyrex is going to be an issue. Groudon, Kyogre are always there. Zacian is always going to be there. Terapagos, high skill cap. Someone's going to do good with it. What have you guys been testing with for Reg G? What does your early Reg G look like? How have you been doing? What's your favorite?
Some of us are still enjoying Reg F while I can. Still got 2 more weeks. Not when
no
this comes
events.
out, but
no event.
okay. I'm gonna spitball some ideas that I've been cooking, and
And we'll tell
you
you if
guys
they
can
cook
hate
or
it, rate, or defecate it. All right. Okay, Kyogre with Thundurus. Thundurus having Wild Bot Storm No Miss, Priority Eerie Impulse for the Shadow Rider, and Thunder Wave for speed control. Hate it, rate it.
Hate it. Should be Scary Face.
And
I mean-
we can give it Scary Face too.
I don't think it's like bad, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Thunderous. I don't like how you can't speed control 3 types of mons, personally.
Okay, all right. No idea. Cosmic Power, Lefties, Eternatus
Defecate it.
with Toxic, and
Immediate doesn't even need the partner.
with Wo-Chen.
Refuse to elaborate it.
All right. What about Wo-Chen with Kyogre to patch the defense?
Just get off the
Use a
podcast.
Mungus.
You just really want to run
Okay,
Wo-Chen
I
again,
will
don't
say,
you?
and this is a Daniel Walker special. Again, shout out to him. On a Miraidon, the electric one, you can't bring a Moongus because you can't Spore. You can't bring Rillaboom because you change the terrain. The best grass Pokemon, you could probably say Agapon, but the best grass Pokemon for a Miraidon team is a Wo-Chen. I'm telling you, it's the synergy is there.
It actually is Ogapon, though.
Yeah.
You can have 2 grass types.
You can have 2 cross types.
All right. I will withdraw that one too. You guys go around the table. I'll come up with a couple of ones for you.
Okay. What have you been testing with, Kieran?
I don't think you're going to believe it. I've been using a Mungus.
What? Not your 98% CP.
No.
What about, is Roaring
Addicted.
is Roaring Moons decent in Reg G? Are you giving up on that?
Shh.
Okay, that we're not mentioning that at all. Can we edit that? bit out?
Elaborate
Roaring
it.
Moon's bad.
It's bad.
No, it's not bad. I'm sure it's okay, but I've been trying to release myself from the addiction. So,
Yeah.
yep. Easing
mean-
off it right now.
I'm sure a Moongus has probably earned the most points of any Pokemon other than maybe Fluttermane in the 2024 season.
Yeah.
What
Maybe.
restricteds have you been looking at?
Yeah, I was testing Groudon for a bit. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. It has like good synergy with like Half Flame, who I think is really underrated in this format. And then I was testing Kalias as well. I haven't played like much Reg G at all.
Yeah.
Just some games here and there.
Are you taking a bit of a break?
Yeah, taking a bit of a break, taking it easy, pretty busy at the moment. But yeah, both like I mean Kalias is like insane.
Yeah, I think you can pick up Kalias and have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, no one enjoys playing it. No one enjoys playing against it either.
No, it's pretty straightforward to play.
Yeah,
like
very linear mon. What about you, Sliff? What have you been cooking with in the corner?
Calyrex Ice Trick Room. What a shocker. Koraidon Sun, an even bigger shocker. But the most fun one recently has been, I'm going to use a TCG term here, the Future Box team.
Yeah.
I want to hear it. Cooked or cooking? Miraidon with Iron Leaves, right? It gets that.
You lost their iron.
Come on, we're not done. We're not done. It gets that move, like Psychic move does more damage on electric terrain. It's pretty.
Blade, yeah.
Sure. I use it, but
move?
I use it and I don't know what it's called. I actually don't. Matthew Anderson's going to love this. Iron Crown.
In electric?
In DD. Double terrain.
Double terrain, boy.
I don't care what you are. I'm going to click Psyblade on one terrain or the other. You're a dark type. I'm still clicking Psyblade. I couldn't care less.
What if I U-turn you with my Urshifu?
You can U-turn me if you're Urshifu. You know what I'm going to do?
What are you going to do?
Go next. Cooked or cooking? No. Double terrain.
Look, I don't think the double train idea is bad. I think Iron Leaves is bad.
Oh yeah, it's the worst mon on my team, and it's why it's the one that I bring to every game because I'm so adamant that it can't be that bad.
See,
right?
I'm going to counter you with another suggestion.
No, cooked or cooking, Chris? Just answer the question.
Cooked. I think the Iron Leaves. I wish it was good. I do.
I think the
Thank you.
premise. I think the premise of a future box is cooking. I don't know if Iron Leaves makes it a cooking team. It
I will
feels a bit
say,
cooked.
Iron Leaves got the same amount of CP as Walking Wake at Perth Regionals. So
What,
there's that.
0?
Yeah.
Iron Crown got more.
Oh, no.
Oh no, we got
Iron
top
Crown got
64
top
points
four.
at Perth, right? There was one
No,
walking
did,
wake.
yeah.
One walking
Yeah,
wake
there was
got
a walking
58th,
wake.
I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I kind of just assumed.
You weren't far off, to be honest.
Miraidon Iron Bundle.
I'm
Yeah,
also using
that's-
Iron Bundle.
it's
Yes.
good. It's good.
Yep. Okay, good. Okay, we're cooking with that.
Focus Sash, right? Sash or
yes,
Cloak.
Could you get the special?
It has to be Sash.
Yeah. Okay. What about Rayquaza and Chempel?
Rayquaza, anything is a no.
All right. Okay.
It's not good.
Screen's Grimmsnarls on the rise. Thoughts?
Yes.
Yes to Screen.
I think it works with a lot of setup mons like Groudon, click bulk up, click light screen.
Parting Shot's also just really good.
Green shot's good, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Screens is always good in restricted formats.
What about like a Groudon Koraidon Sunsetter with Chi-Yu?
Is it Groudon or Koraidon?
They're both set Sun, so either or.
So
Koraidon.
just Chi-Yu in Sun.
Chi-Yu and Sun.
Yeah, that's going to be so bad.
What a hot take,
What
Chris.
a hot
Well, I mean,
take,
it would be
Chris.
quite hot when you hit one overhead.
Hey, and
True.
I have a hot one. I think it's a hot one for the single restricted format. Ditto.
No.
No?
No. You know what? I was playing a game like last week and I versed the Ditto and they sent it out against my Terran Ogrephon Half-Flame and it can't even copy it. It's so bad.
So it can't copy.
I can't copy Terran
Ogrephon.
like the embody because of embody aspect or something.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
transformation.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just send
So
my.
it just sat there as Ditto in front of
It had to click choice scarf transform and I Terrafire Ivy coded it. It died.
Jeez, I didn't know that.
Let me just send my Ditto in against your Calyrex Mienshao lead and then copy your Mienshao, but I've led with my Mienshao. Now I have two.
And your choice scarf fake out. Choice specs rest as we go from a.
I think the only reason it was good last in 2022, good might be a stretch, but it's because of like Zacian and like you copy and then you get the extra attack boost.
Mhm.
And you just one shot opposing Zacians. But Yeah.
It's just better in GS Cup if both restricteds are on the field and you switch in Ditto, you're always going to get a valuable
Yeah,
transformation.
it'll be better. I'm sure it'll be like usable with 2 restricted. I don't think with 1 restricted.
Yeah, if once we get to H or I, whatever comes next as the GS, I'm sure it would be great, in my opinion, to have a season-long GS, because when we had that for S12, it was an incredibly volatile is not the correct word, but that meta moved so much.
I love Series 12.
Yeah, I think everyone does. It was a great format.
Very popular in Perth, yeah.
All right, last suggestion, Pelipper Zacian. Apparently, it drops fire weakness, changes the weather, and gets wide guard. Pelipper Zacian is a balance.
I've actually seen that. It's actually decent.
It makes a lot of sense to protect Zacian with rain. Like its main weaknesses are the fire and the ground, so the fire and the ground.
There are worse things.
Okay.
Right.
But
Don't hate
Pelipper just like beats Incin pretty hard. So
Weather ball hits like a truck.
Zacian,
Hurricane, yeah.
if you don't have like anything to stop Incin from switching in and out, like you're not going to win with Zacian realistically. So I think that's why Pelipper actually works on that team.
Yep.
Speaking of weather ball, I do have my one more. This is my counter to you, Chris.
Yep.
Raging Bolt on Koraidon Sun with weather ball.
I didn't know it got weather ball, so that's
what do
for a
you
start.
need weather ball for?
Weather ball.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no,
good,
but
good,
I
good.
mean, it hits grass types,
yeah.
which Koraidon also
Yeah,
does.
it's good.
Also, yeah, you
And
could,
so does the ogre
could
pond
run-
that you have on the team.
No, but so the main reason I was running it, that there's actually a lot of Tyranitar on ladder right now. That
I saw it won a limitless to it, like T-Tar Lycanroc.
yeah.
Degenerate
Well,
stuff.
I haven't seen the Lycan Rock, but I think it's
What
just
was the
it's just
restricted?
more
I
for
don't think
it's just more for the weather flip. Like it's weather wars now.
T-Tar's always going to be,
It
it'll
does-
always stick its head where it doesn't ball.
And then
I love it for that.
yeah, and then obviously we've also got Kyogre and Sun teams. I think Weather Ball is a very versatile move.
Yeah.
I don't think you really need to have the Dragon type move on Raging Bolt. Like
there are a lot of dragons that just
there
entered the
are a
format.
lot of dragons around, but there's a great deal. Most of them are Terra Fairy. There's a lot of Dragon Resist going around as well. I think you can get away with having the extra elemental attack and it being a versatile move that you can change the type of when the weather gets flipped on you. There's also a weird amount of Terra Ice going around because people just fucking hate Landorus, and Terra Blast is funny right now. Weather Ball says no.
There you go.
Cooked then. Yeah, I'm cooked.
No, I
will
think
wait
weather
and
ball's
see.
good.
I'll wait and see.
I think weather ball. What move are you dropping? Is this on an AV Raging Ball?
Yeah, I drops the dragon move and I don't miss it because I'm running it on Koraidon Sun anyway. I've already got a dragon move on the Koraidon. Then I've also already got a fire move on the Koraidon, so I'm only digging myself a grave.
Have
here.
you got Snarl on this set?
Yes.
It's AV Raging Bolt, Chris.
Yeah, well, you've also got weather ball, so come on, let's not assume.
Why don't you just ask me if I've got Thunderclap?
Do you?
No. Yes, of course I do. Thunderclap, Snarl, Thunderbolt, Weatherball. I don't find the dragon move to be valuable most of the time. Weatherball just gives me an extra option select click. I need to have an attack and it doesn't get that many options, offensive options, honestly.
Can we get out of the Reg G kitchen and talk about Pokedrama?
I mean, just before we get into Pokedrama, we are 3 months from NAIC and 4 months from Worlds.
I think 2 months from NAIC. Yeah, two months. Less
is it
than
June?
2 months. It's June. Like
It's
June.
June,
like
yeah.
8.
Okay, so when this episode releases, 2 months
2 months
from NAIC, this meta is going to shift an impossible amount. People are going to cook things. So I won't ask you guys the team because I think if you got that right now, it would be Mark's level of predictions for Perth and Orlando. As he dabs in the corner. God, I wish I got that on camera. What restricted is going to be NAIC champion? Which restricted is Wolfglick going to run at NAIC?
What's the best Pokemon with a Moongus? Oh, they're all good.
Calyrex.
I mean, Wolf did just win a tour with Calyrex last night.
Calyrex
so-
last night. Yeah, I saw that.
Clefairy, who needs a Moongus?
Clefairy's good this format. I Kelly's Shadows is such an uninspired choice. Like if you say that and get it right, no one's gonna be like, wow, what a like oracle. He saw it coming. I'll pick something spicy. And go to what actually is there. You know what? I'll say rain.
I'm gonna go Koraidon.
Koraidon. I like that take, to be honest.
I've seen like a lot of like really strong players using it, so I could see it going well at NA.
So, Chris, you're booking in Kyogre because that's pretty much the only rain setting restricted.
No, Politoed hyper offense. No, Kyogre. To be honest, it's a terrible choice, but I've said it now, and I am back. My brain went there.
Your brain went there straight away.
My very cooked brain went there.
Sliff.
Ancient Box.
Ancient Box. So Koraidon with...
Koraidon is much better than Miraidon, 1-for-1 in my opinion. And the past paradoxes, for the most part, have a much higher power level on average than the ancient paradoxes do. They have insane synergy with Sun. You can very easily take a Whimsicott onto the team or a Tornadus and just reset your own Sun. There's probably going to be a lot of Groudon and opposing Koraidon as well, so you'd expect. And a lot of them function outside of Sun. They've been doing so for over a year without even activating their own Protosynthesis. Now they're all significantly better. It'll be an Ancient Box team.
Yeah. More of a case of want than actual belief is Terapagos. I really want to see someone take that to a championship, or at least get to the top 8 with it. I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think it's such an interesting mon compared to some of the shit that we've been getting from
the Spanish players are going to use it.
No, please not.
I think the winner, I reckon the winning restricted will be whatever Kieran's going to win with. Obviously,
he's not traveling to NAIC. This man is on a holiday until Worlds.
We're not picking. This is not for World.
No, this is NAIC.
Oh, right. Well, that still sounds.
We'll come back to Worlds in after NAIC because that'll be the most pivotal to what happens at Worlds. NAIC June and then Worlds is August, about a month later. So
I'm going to early call Koraidon for both.
Ooh. Outside
of Calyrex, I think Koraidon's the best restricted in the format, and it enables the most. There's a lot of synergy with all the paradoxes.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't think Koraidon's like the best, but outside of both Calyrexes, I think it's like the sleeper pick that I could see winning for sure.
Yeah, I think like Calyrex S is probably going to be the Fluttermane of Reg G. What Fluttermane was for all the previous regs that it's been available. It's going to be up there at like 60% usage on day 2. Like you can see it happening because it is, as we've already discussed, very broken. And you know, if you are a new player, probably run Cali S until you you're going to get some results with it. But yes, so Chris is frothing at the mouth in the corner for some pokey drama.
There's just been so much of it, and
there has been so much of it.
I've just been frothing on the Twitterverse.
Unfortunately, due to our recording schedule, this is going to come out after the biggest drama that happened after Orlando. But of course, if you're on Twitter, if you're following the Pokemon universe, there's been some pretty big things happen. The biggest one being that the individual who came second at Orlando, it was alleged that they've made transphobic remarks in private. The O2 drop and the WA VGC community has trans people. We have gay people. We have non-binary people. Yeah. We have disabled people. We have able-bodied people. In this community, we don't take that shit at all. So, you know, when you hear someone like someone that has an audience in the Pokemon world allegedly saying the things that they said.
Well, he did own up to it. It's not allegedly.
I mean, yeah, but the everything got deleted, so we can't prove it now.
Am I allowed to
But-
name names?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we're talking about Neil Patel. Okay. And like
Sophia.
Sophie Lee. I want to give context because he did make a bit of an enemy of the Australian community over a year ago now. So like I'm disappointed because I actually did value Neil's input into the Pokemon community as from like a metagame coverage, helping. He had a lot of like people that he helped get into the game, trained and coached. He did have some decent content. And a lot of people were friends with him in the community. I mean, first of all, he upset everybody because he posed as a 16-year-old girl and entered the Australian World Cup tryouts to try and get into the Australian team. He's Canadian, just for the record, and not a 16-year-old girl. He's a 21-year-old male. And he got caught. And then when he said like, oh yeah, I'm just like doing it as a laugh, as a joke with a friend, blah, blah, blah. And then so he did then sort of backpedal and change his story when the Australian players called him out, and he said that he was like posing as a girl to try and trick like this like the sex predator to come out, and like he was trying to like lure them out in the community, all this sort of stuff. And then this behavior came out, and I think the annoying thing is that they waited until he got second in a massive event, almost won. If he hadn't have like if he had a Terra Poison his Urshifu, he would have won. Let's be honest. And he kind of lucky he didn't. But then like someone sort of sat on these screenshots of a private DM and leaked them, and then the Twitterverse took hold of it, and then everyone kind of just denied. Well, they all kind of distanced themselves from him, and now he's since deleted all his content. But I mean, I think it's really important. The hilarious thing is because Wolfie's Amoongus beat Neil in the final of Orlando. Amoongus like single-handedly like beat Neil. Now it's like Amoongus is this giant trans rights icon, and that's been trending on Twitter a lot. And I mean, you were ahead of your time, Kiran. Like you've been running Amoongus. You're obviously really strongly passionate about trans rights.
I knew.
Yeah,
he knew from way back.
and then of course this is piggybacked onto that. I remember that subreddit from I think it was like 2022. That subreddit about. It started off like, Executor and Slowbro come out like it's a gay couple. How does OU metagame react? And then this whole like meme started about how Ferrothorn was a homophobe. And have you not seen this subreddit? There is a whole narrative. It's been turned into like a comic, like.
Okay, Kiran, you're the youngest person in the room. Do you know what this is?
I have absolutely no.
It's hilarious. It's like type of
Busy you.
Every OU Pokemon got like this like role in this giant epic story that it came out on Reddit about how this Ferrothorn was like homophobic and didn't like the fact that Slowbro and Executor were together, and then like Tapu Lele tried to take justice, like to stand up for gay rights, and then like Focus Blast missed and then died to Gyroball, and this whole whole story.
Did Neil Patel start this subreddit?
My point is, get onto it and like look at. There's like Amoongus and Ferrothorn.
What is
now.
what is the stream for this?
It just literally type in like Ferrothorn homophobe and look at the subreddit. it is comedy gold. Like I cannot tell you the whole narrative because I'd be here for 3 hours. But every Pokemon has like a reaction to how it would go down.
Sliff.
So. You briefly touched on after Neil got second at whatever
Orlando Regionals.
All these screenshots or whatever got leaked his DMs,
and he did own up to it. It wasn't fake,
allegedly, but that like you got to wonder how many people were involved in these conversations and where other people complicit in this.
Yeah, there were people that were agreeing with
and it's problematic because people are going to start wondering these questions, and now you don't really know if you're safe following your favorite player. People who followed him on Patreon or get involved in their Metafy for coaching.
He had a huge following, and I'm really disappointed because like there are people that are very fragile, personalities, or their mental health is struggling, or maybe they're just going through a rough time, and like they see someone that they're like Pokemon icon or hero or whatever, like a big YouTuber, and someone who's just got like runner up at a massive event, and then they see those comments about, and they might identify that way, and like it's just such a dangerous thing to say on when you're on a public forum, like on a somewhere where what you say actually gets seen by thousands of people. So yeah.
Well, no, because he really wouldn't voice that opinion, though.
Well,
No.
I mean, it's too late. Like,
It was very disappointing. Very disappointing to see.
Yeah, I think Niels is someone that I watched a fair few videos of. Yeah, it's just it's particularly problematic when Pokemon traditionally has attracted a younger audience because of the nature of what Pokemon is. I started watching Pokemon when I was 8, before primary school, when it was airing on Cheese TV. You know,
Oh, I miss Cheese TV.
you know, like it's been part of my life for nearly like 3 decades now.
Yeah.
And you know, I have a 4-year-old son who is obsessed with Pokemon. Like, once every Pikachu plushie walks past, I would be devastated if he started watching, you know, a creator that was spewing hate.
Don't get me started on like. Can I touch on another Pokedrama subject?
Yes, please
All right,
do.
I'm going to play you some audio. All right, from a YouTube video. We all know who Velisify is, and he did.
Here we go.
Like, I mean, don't get me started. First of all, remember when he called out the Pokemon community for not taking Pokemon seriously? We're all just a bunch of cheaters because that guy was in a hot dog outfit, and you know,
He's also like a neo-Nazi as well.
yeah. His latest videos are calling out like apparently like it took Wolfie's 2016 World's victory was because all the players like deliberately like threw to him and he was using like he's had like perfect IV legendaries and it had to be hacked, and the guy in the final against Wolfie like was trying to get himself DQ by flipping off the crowd, and like it was all rigged for Wolfie to win and all this.
The thing is, this is why Velisify makes this video, so people go on their podcast and talk about how much of it.
Yeah, just don't play the audio.
I want to rebut it. Okay, I want you to just listen to his. This is just one less than a minute of audio.
I've legitimately never heard his voice. Oh, I hate it already.
This is him talking about the Orlando stream.
Just annoying, and same thing with the rest of the stream. It's completely uninteresting, and it's really just buffer content made for the few hundred cheaters that play Pokemon VGC. However, I saw a couple of interesting names here for these stream highlights. There's your boy, Joshua Lorsey, the next Wolf Glick back in Generation 7, who got busted for cheating, who is still using hacked Pokemon. Awesome shiny team there, bro. So once again, we see more favoritism from Play Pokemon, which just makes the entire scene more annoying. No banning cheaters, and instead putting them on stream or hiring them or giving them features and stuff. And of course, you have to put the biggest cheater in Pokemon history on stream, or else you're not going to get any views. So here we have Wolf Glick pretending to look knowledgeable like he knows what he's doing. Because the entire scene is just cheaters pandering to morons on both the Play Pokemon side and the competitors.
If everybody's cheating, then it's an equal playing field, dickhead.
So I just need to address this because I'm like the few hundred cheaters that play VGC. I think there's a few more than a few hundred. It is such a fast growing esport. Let's just get that out of the way for a start. Second of all, as he's saying this, he's pointing out cheaters on stream. He's pointing to people that are using shiny starters and circling with the cursor like, oh, this person's got a shiny Rillaboom, this person's got a shiny Incineroar. Mate, can I just say now, because I happen to own shiny starters, he literally has a guide on his YouTube series, like how to get picnic shinies, whatever. It is so easy to get a legit shiny Incineroar. You can't just call out players on stream for having a hacked team because they've got a shiny starter. Third of all,
it's very. I don't even know what to say. It's dumb. Getting shinies in Gen 9 is so easy.
And then saying that the biggest cheater of them all, like here's him, Wolfie pretending to look knowledgeable. Poor Wolfie's in a heated like final, like on stream, simply writing a note on a notebook, probably saying like, oh yeah, my Incineroar was faster than the other one, whatever. Oh, he's trying to look knowledgeable. Like seriously, Velisify, first of all, show some fucking respect to the world's best player who, just because you can't play the game, like doesn't mean that everyone else is cheater because they beat you. This Wolfie deserves our respect, admiration, just to talk shit about him because he's writing notes during a game, pretending to look knowledgeable. It's fucking bullshit. I hate it. And second of all, don't complain about the Pokemon community when all you do is sit there and make Pokemon content about the Pokemon community for the Pokemon community. Like, if you don't like the community that much, please leave.
I reckon Wolf's note said, Neil Patel's shiny Incineroar gives it a competitive advantage over my non-shiny Incineroar. Fucking hacker.
I think Wolf is an incredibly important personality for Pokemon. He breaks the mold of like the sweaty geek that like esports tends to attract from quote unquote normies. Like,
Are you saying that people in this room are sweaty geeks?
no, but like everyone knows, like,
You notice how he said that looking directly at Chris?
He did.
I mean, well, Chris
feels
brought
at
up the argument, but like Wolf he's an incredibly important personality in Pokemon. If I go back to probably 2014, 2015, the person who was like the most important personality in Pokemon at the time was Puka, who ran the Top Cut. I cannot remember his actual name for the life of me, but he went by Puka and he ran the Top Cut, which was a YouTube and website that gave incredibly in-depth analysis on TCG decks, tutorials on how to play and whatnot. The Pokemon Company like took Puka in I think it's Kyle Sukovich was his name. He became a member. Yeah, he became a member of the Pokemon International Company, and he was to like help drive community outreach because he did such an important and like he was identified as such an important role. I could see that happening for Wolf at some point in the next 5 years, that the Pokemon Company goes just like, work for us, be like part of this, drive things, drive innovation and whatnot.
He makes some really good content, and this favoritism thing is such a lie. He's just a good player. Let's be honest. You don't win 9 regionals and a worlds and everything else he's won.
Absolutely, and
it's just engagement farming.
it so is. I mean, you know, we're doing the same thing by talking about Velicify.
Okay, well, I do have one positive poker drama Twitter.
Yeah.
So I was in the fallout of Neil's deleting all his content on YouTube. There was a bit of outcry. We need more like regular poker tubers posting more content. So Moxie Boosted, shout out to you, Marco, as a fellow Wochen believer. Love you, mate. Love your content. He said, I'll be doing daily videos from now on. And I referenced his latest video at the time because he did a video on Koraidon in Reg G, and his showdown was so laggy that the screen was glitching and it looked like he was doing a PowerPoint presentation on Koraidon. So I replied to him saying, we're going to get daily PowerPoints on Koraidon now. And the official Microsoft PowerPoint Twitter handle replied saying that Koraidon was in a collision course with the meta, which is obviously a signature attack. So shout outs to the social media manager for PowerPoint. Anyway, that comment from PowerPoint replying to my reply went like, it honestly has like over 80,000 views. And like everyone in the VGC community reposted it, reacted to it, quoted it. And it was all just like seeing my name come up as like, at the Mazda, like, and then PowerPoint like talking to me and everyone reposting it. It was such a 15 minutes of fame moment. And like, no one followed me. No one cares who I am. But the fact that PowerPoint actually weighed in on a Pokemon debate on VGC, I thought was mind boggling and so cool. And everyone just lost their shit. It was really funny to see.
I think Dan made a really good point when he was just like, imagine being a community manager for one of these big, these big companies. But no,
dream job now. I have so much fun.
Sliff.
No one followed you, but 80,000 cheaters saw that comment.
80,000 filthy cheaters that don't take the game seriously.
Fucking hot dog wearers.
I mean, not do it. I do have a relatively, it's a lukewarm take on cheating and genning. As a judge, genning is bad. Don't do it. It's boring. But in the same token, you can't create a Pokemon that's illegal, air quotes, because you can't play with it online if it's illegal. Is it a problem? I don't know. I mean, when 20 Spanish players rock up with the same Tinglu, with the same trainer ID, problematic. But, if you're just going to a local...
At the end of the,
I don't know.
At the end of the-
It's a really complex subject
at the
that
end of-
Pokemon has just said, this is bad, don't do it. And if we have reasonable doubt that you've created something illegally, we're going to
I
DQ
totally
you.
get.
I don't think it
totally-
should ever be reasonable doubt. Sorry. I think if they have, I saw a lot of people like lose Mons who claim that they got them legit, no issue. So if Pokemon is DQing players, like forcing them out of money because they have doubt that a Mon is legal, that I think that's absolutely ridiculous. If they can like 100% prove it, then I understand. That's the rules, right?
Yeah.
Play by the rules. You want to play the game. It is what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much what
I get why people do it. That like, I mean, I know people have got busy. Like, not everyone's a full-time Pokemon player. That and I mean, I'm happy to, watch Netflix and sit there and soft reset for a zero IV Tinglu. Like, I've done that and caught it with Master Ball. Like, didn't take that long, right? But my point is, like, I don't think it gives much. I don't think it gives much competitive advantage. Like, it doesn't give
zero.
Like, it doesn't really affect
advantage.
the outcome. Okay, yeah, sure. If your opponent's got 0 IV attack, they're going to take less damage from a foul play. Whatever. Okay, they could come into it. But at the end of the day, though, if everyone had access to the same like level of Pokemon, maybe they give us an item like like a rusty bottle cap that gives like 0 IV. But my point is, like, I don't actually think, like, if I lost to someone in a World Cup or whatever because they just happened to have a Tinglu that was cloned from someone else's Tinglu, it's not going to affect the outcome of the game because it's like, they're not going to like an unfair advantage per se. They shouldn't be hacking and using software, but I get why people do it.
I think the cloning is dumb. If you're cloning to get them on, that's super dumb. Especially
If you're all going to the same event.
If you're going to the same event.
Side note, I can't believe it took 6 episodes to bring up a rusted bottle cap.
Yeah, I know. Oh man, Game Freak, just do it. It'll like be so good for competitive.
Then you won't have to DQ people and have Velicify call us all fucking cheaters.
To the point you made, Kiran, of like heaps of people getting DQ'd for reasonable doubt, there was an issue with the previous update where
I
like
did see
gold
that.
bottle cap
Yep.
made it look like, for example, your Ogerpon was fake because it would have 6 hypertrained EVs.
What's wrong with that though?
Because it shouldn't. Once you're
It just comes up in the
best,
softwares that you that it was illegally formed and
because
banned.
it has 3 guaranteed, right?
Oh,
So
yes, of course.
when these people are just using a gold bottle cap in good faith because they don't want to use 3 silver bottle caps or whatever it is.
Fair. Yeah.
And then so that gold bottle cap has changed every IV on their Pokemon that is legitimate to hypertrained, making it look like an illegal Pokemon. So yeah, I think the point Kira makes that reasonable doubt, like
I think
you got to know.
I think a big issue is the fact that they refuse to provide any explanation to the people who get DQ'd who genuinely are confused. I have a friend at EUIC who lost 2 of his Mons.
Yeah.
And he actually managed to finish. He lost 2 of his Mons at 7-1 and finished like 11-4. So
Jesus.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
But he did get those from a friend, the Mons. So there's a chance they were hacked. But he said he'd been getting them from his friend for like ages and no issues.
Yeah.
And like he tried to get an explanation and just there was no explanation given.
Yeah.
I do understand they don't want to like
I know
give people like understanding of how to cheat the system better, but it's really problematic.
As a person who's been part of judge seminars and whatnot, it is very difficult to give the individual feedback in a big event when you've got hundreds of things going on.
Sure, yeah.
So when you're at a big thing, it's, in my opinion, it's not unreasonable that you don't get feedback.
Okay, yeah.
But if you're in a smaller thing, probably like, I don't know, call it like Australian regional size, you probably should be getting an explanation.
Maybe not at like directly at the time that it happens. But
No,
like,
but there should be a hierarchy, and then you should be given to someone, not like the head judge. The head judge doesn't answer to everyone, for example, but like a judge should take time to explain that to individuals, so that we don't end up with twitlongers where people are blaming.
And
For the record, I think a lot of people who said their Pokemon weren't hacked definitely hacked their Pokemon.
I have a theory, as someone who's recently entered Poke Twitter, that whatever a Pokemon player says on Twitter, take with a grain of salt.
Oh,
yeah.
Because they're always just trying to save face.
Naturally.
Naturally, right? Like, you don't want to be Alex Soto and then have everyone think that you're an idiot.
The one good thing that came out of this, all the people getting DQ'd or Pokemon like banned, was that hilarious tweet that someone did. There was 2 people on stream, and one person only had 4 Pokemon left, and one person only had 5 Pokemon left on their team because they both had Pokemon DQ'd. And the tweet was, "These guys are out here playing Nuzlocke challenge."
That was at Liverpool, I think, right?
Liverpool, oh
Yeah.
my god, it was worth it. It was worth it.
It's a really bad look.
Liverpool was insane. Yeah,
It's a really bad look on the game when you've got people on stream and they've got 4 Pokemon.
Holding up the 4 fingers.
Yeah, it's such a bad look. But yeah, I don't know. Just like, I don't want to get into like the specifics of how individuals may get mons that aren't quote unquote legal. But if you're going to do it, just have some box hygiene in your boxes, in your Pokemon game. Have some box hygiene. If you're running if you're running Scarlet, probably don't have a Pokemon that's exclusive to Violet with your trainer ID on it.
Don't have.
But what if you own Scarlet and Violet and trainer ID?
Trainer ID.
Okay. I went through before regionals. I went through my box, and like any trainers, names I got through like trades and stuff. Anyone I didn't recognize, anyone that had like, how you get stuff through like Wonder Trade or whatever that's got like obviously like bot names in like in the original trainer. Like
Marchamp.tv.
Get rid of them. Like anything that's got like Pokehex in the like trainer name, like get rid of them and into Pokemon Home at the very least. Just because they can search your boxes as well. Like just get rid of them.
Yeah.
I think that's what was happening at Worlds last year.
It was
some people passed hack checks. Their team was passed as legitimate. But then the judges were looking in their boxes, and there were situations where players would have a hacked Ditto, and it's not uncommon knowledge that players who do breed a legitimate team so they can go to a tournament and pass a hack check will sometimes use a hacked Ditto as the breeding as the parent. But these players were getting disqualified because the hacked Ditto was in their box, but their team was legitimately obtained. Like, I think there's a point when it goes a bit too far.
By the letter of the law, the ethics of the game, right?
Sportsmanship?
Yeah, like ethics, sportsmanship. Any Pokemon that comes from a hacked parent is a hacked Pokemon.
Interesting.
Which is, it's, especially in Scavvy, you can get a 6 IV Ditto super easy. They drop in 6-star raids like daily.
You could in the last 2 gens, but it's that 0 IV for your Trick Room or that 0 attack for your special attacker where it gets precarious and you're catching, potentially dozens or hundreds. This could take you several days or even weeks to achieve so you can go to Worlds with an optimal team.
This is just an opportunity for you guys to make new friends in the community. There are people that literally froth over there are people who don't play super seriously. They just love breeding and like making teams for other people. If you
There's
can find
always someone you can
ask a trusted friend to help you out. Don't get it from some rando.
Sorry, of course.
I hope those people who like breeding have good box hygiene.
We don't want them to have what? Pokerus?
You don't want to catch Pokerus. Look, like anecdotally, the first Fluttermane that I caught when I was in a union circle was a 0 IV Fluttermane.
Cheater.
Like 0 IV attack.
That's a cheater.
I'm
telling Felicify.
Football equals cheating, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The first shiny Iron Bundle that I caught was a 0 attack IV. Like, you're going to run into it in this game. When you're breeding, super easy. Hell, like, there are people using Raspberry Pi to just like soft reset their game. they've played their game legitimately, and then they just plug their thing into a Raspberry Pi that just looks for the IV that they've caught so that they can get a 0 attack Blood Moon, or like, that's not cheating to me to like go through that process.
What's the thing they do in the old games? RNG manipulate? Is that cheating?
Yeah, RNG.
I don't think that is. So
technically not, because the mon you're catching, you are getting legitimately in the game. You're just skipping thousands, maybe millions of frames ahead, saving countless hours. It's manipulation of the game itself, but not of the Pokemon itself. It is going to spawn, whether you play the game for 1,000 hours or just skip frames for a few minutes.
Is this the stuff where we can like search all the raids that are out there at the moment and find the one that you want?
Yes.
The right IVs?
No, this is like, I'm pretty sure.
That's using an RNG seed. That's basically the same thing as RNG abuse for eggs and for catching
that one's
legendaries.
slightly different for the raids.
Yeah, I think it's different.
Because that kind of injects them, I think. Yeah,
there is a way to inject,
because
but I don't know.
So you're looking like each day generates a seed, so you would go looking for the seed of your day. We shouldn't be explaining this, but
How do we get here again?
Velicify, I think. But it then injects, so that is like a hacked mon.
Okay, I didn't know that with the raids.
Yeah, so
I did have a point, but the box hygiene joke just was in my head, and I couldn't.
We've given this topic enough. Box.
yeah.
It's really, like, if you're gonna, I don't know, just be smart and just don't do dumb shit and get DQ'd at big events, because you have all that time and preparation and money that you've taken to get there, and then just to be humiliated in a public forum.
Yeah, I forget how much we pay for regionals here, but it's 50 AUD here for regionals.
Yeah.
Like, what's EUIC?
EUIC was
it like £100 or something to register?
No, it wasn't that much. It was like 120 USD. Okay, that's still like, it's pretty much £100.
So it's like $200 Australian dollars to register for an event. You got to get yourself there. Okay, even if you're only playing locally, you're paying money to play. You've paid money for the game. Paid to get there, maybe paid for accommodation. Why would you fuck around?
They just need to reach out in the community and get someone to help.
Yeah.
I've borrowed Perth players. Shout out Bradford and Anthony.
Bradford is the hardest working person in Perth.
The last 2 regionals at UIC, other mons as well.
Like, Bradford has played through Sword and Shield 22 times.
What? He's a dead set legend.
Yeah.
I say to him, like, has anyone got a spare Ogerpon, because I don't want to have to keep changing the mask and the EVs every single time I change my Ogerpon. And sure enough, it's like, I got a spare Ogerpon.
Yeah, and this is a man who's like, I'm going to go back and play Sword and Shield more to get more Calyrex for the community, so that people in the community can have Calyrex.
I don't know how he does it.
Like,
legend behavior.
Absolute legend. So, like, I think in summary, just don't fuck around.
I remembered my point. Talking about the Joel, your experiences, the first Fluttermane you captured was like the perfect Fluttermane.
Yeah. Well, it didn't have, everything else had to be hyper trained. It just had 0 attack.
0 attack's what you want. Who remembers Lewis Tan's Fluttermane for 2023 Perth Regionals?
What, Farter Man?
He wanted a 0 attack one specifically, and his friend Simon, the not better man from the last episode, went into a union circle. The first Fluttermane he caught was a 0 attack, and Lewis had spent, I don't know, couple days trying to catch one, could not get the 0 attack one. I think that was shiny farm. That's what it was. It was a shiny 0 attack one he wanted, and Simon named it Farterman. Traded it to Lewis. Lewis couldn't change the name. And then there was a newer judge ruling on nicknames where certain names were deemed abusive, and fart is a bad word because adults can't say fart.
You're going to have to censor that, by the way.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
Yeah. And then Chris Marr matched against Lewis Tan, was losing and called a judge and tried to get him disqualified for having farter man, which originated in Perth.
I was salty because not only is Lewis Tan a filthy listener, but I was told that we weren't allowed to call our Fluttermane Spider-Man because we all thought it was a great name, and we would like to bring him because we'll get DQ'd. He brought one, beat me with it, and I was like, well, fuck you. I called the judge over and said he's got a legal nickname, and I went to head judge, and I was overruled. So I couldn't win in a technicality.
I believe you were told to grow up in that instance, right?
I will never grow up.
By the way, Lewis Tan, I know you're a regular listener of the show, honorary Westerner. We love you. Chris doesn't, but he needs to get good.
Get good quickly. But look, yeah, to wrap that up, just talk to people around you. This game is not difficult to create legitimate mons. Create is a really bad word to use. It's not difficult to get legitimate mons. Like we live in an era where you can just catch the first Pokemon you see, give it bottle caps, EV train it with the meds in the game, carbos, what's the other one? Iron,
Just say
calcium,
vitamin.
protein.
We don't need to go through all the
Yeah, I don't think we need to list every single.
yeah.
HP.
But like, man, it's so easy. So yeah, just follow the code of conduct for the game when you go into these big events, because at the end of the day, it's your money. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you to Kiran for joining us today.
Could we do last shout outs?
Sure.
Shout out to my sister Claire, who listens to every single episode.
You mean Twunk Chris?
That's what she called. I don't know why. It's weird. Anyway, my sister Claire, shout out. If you got to the end of this episode, here's your fucking shout out, bitch. So stop complaining that you don't get shout outs. And yeah, also trans rights. And fuck that homophobic Ferrothorn. Look it up on subreddit. It's hilarious.
Any shout outs from you, Kiran?
Nah, I'm all good. I'm all good.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us today, Kiran, and thank you to everyone at home for taking the time of the day to listen to us. We appreciate you and would love for you to join us again. This podcast
Appreciate you having me. Oh wait, were you talking to me?
I was talking to everybody.
Yeah, I kind of zoned out. Zoned back in, and you were like, appreciate having you. I was like, oh yeah.
We'll definitely have him on when he wins Worlds.
Yeah, absolutely.
right.
Shout out to Chris's sister Claire.
So this this podcast has been listened to in 4 continents right now, and that absolutely blows us away. So thank you to everyone for the support.
Thank you. There's
for this
4 people
podcast.
that listen. That was great of you. Thank you.
Yeah, 4 people on 4 continents. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter /X at the02drop_VGC. Please drop us a follow and a review on your favorite listening app.
And can you follow us as well? Because I'm sick and tired of having like 30 followers. So especially if you're like really attractive and gay and single, please follow me on Twitter. I need a Pokemon husband. Thanks.
The Twitter handles of all of the host and the panelist are on the bio of the O2 drop. So until next time.